Well, okay. We will start with Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider, episode 1. And we start with our main character, Tojima, who is training in the woods, punching a giant tree, exclaiming, Rider Punch. He thinks that he has loved Kamen Rider ever since he was a kid, and he was a hero unlike any other. You know what? Before I continue,
all right,
I don't know anything about Kamen Rider. I know what Kamen Rider is, as a show, and to me the closest thing I can relate it to is Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And I've just been picking up little hints of what Kamen Rider actually is and the story of Kamen Rider just through this anime. But I wonder if this would have a bit more nostalgic impact if there actually was like a 40-year-old dude that watched Kamen Rider back in the day and watched this anime and is like, holy shit, I remember this.
Yeah, I imagine there's got to be somebody out there that's just like, this is their fucking show. Like, this is exactly how they feel. They love takoyaki and drinking beer, and they're like, I want to be a Kamen Rider.
I don't know anything about Kamen Rider, and I feel like this is my show.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Well, it's okay. So like when I think of Kamen Rider, because I should say, have never seen or really experienced Kamen Rider, but like I think of Tatsunoko as the production company. So Tatsunoko had a ton of old school shows that had the same kind of relevance as Kamen Rider with a lot of their characters. I look back and it's such a wonderful piece of pop culture that I wasn't a part of that I really, really want to get invested in now. But I'm also, it's like, dude, it's like 10,000 episodes of things that I'd have to catch up on.
It flashes back to when Tojima was a kid and he's watching Kamen Rider VHSs. And his mom is like, man, how many times you gonna watch that? And he's like, it's fucking sick, as his eyes are aglow.
He's right.
His mom says she needs to go to work, but he's too enthralled with watching Kamen Rider, and he says that Kamen Rider protects the world's peace with a heart full of justice. And one day, he is going to be like that, and he wants to be Kamen Rider. Flashes forward to 23 years later, and a girl is leading Tojima to an open area of the school, and she's like, Tojima, will you go out with me? And he's taken aback at first, and then he's like, sure, hell yeah, let's do it. And then she's like, oh, nope, sorry. And then all the kids are laughing from the school windows. Hirogawa, a delinquent Yankee gangster kid, is like, psych, she's my girlfriend. And she lost a bet, so she had to confess to you as punishment. Then Tojima just turns and walks away. Cuts to him at a river, remembering kids wanting to play Kamen Rider and playing rock, paper, scissors to see who was Kamen Rider. And Tojima thinks that you can't become Kamen Rider by playing rock, paper, scissors. And he isn't just playing pretend.
Not at all.
Emily, the girl that had to ask him out, comes running up and she says sorry for earlier. And he's like, oh, no, it's all good. They sit and talk. And she's like, half the dudes at the school are Yankees, but you're different. And people say they saw him by the river yelling stuff to it. And it cuts to him practicing his transformation poses. And she's like, you're so mysterious. Just then, 3 other dudes show up and are like, oh, Emily, you and Kidogawa broke up? Well, go out with me instead. And the blonde curly haired dude grabs her and Tojima stops him. And then he tries to punch Tojima, and then he returns the favor by punching him in the face.
Just fucking breaks his whole schnoz, dude. Shatters his shit.
Yeah, he's just swallowing teeth.
Yeah, 100%.
Then the other 2 guys kick Tojima, and then he returns the kicks back to them. Emily is like, oh shit. And he says he's just giving them back what they gave him, and then he walks off into the sunset. The white uniform gang kidnaps Emily and then goes to the school and calls out Tojima for revenge. Tojima goes down there and they're like, we coming for revenge. And Tojima says, do you really think a bunch of school kids fighting is a war? We don't even have jobs, and we aren't even members of society, and you're still getting food and money from your parents and bathing and sleeping in someone else's house. And you want to talk about war? That's fucking embarrassing.
This is what was the show? Not King of High School. It's totally making fun of all these high school shows where these kids are like the heads of their households by accident, and they're just being absolute pieces of shit monsters on the street at all times. It's got a high school, yeah. And I was just like, yeah, you get him, Kamen Rider. We're all a bunch of fucking children, you fucking idiots. And you're like, yeah, you are. I'm glad that someone has the wherewithal to fucking know what's going on.
And then he says, if you want to fight, then fight against evil. And everyone is like, what the fuck,
what the
dude?
fuck are you talking about, bro? He's right, though. Fight against evil.
He is right.
He's doing it, dude.
And Emily is like, oh, Tojima, you fucking man. The gang charges and Tojima faces them head on, but there are too many and he's all beat up. And the leader, blonde, curly hair dude is like, I'm going to take Emily home with me. And she's like, no, Tojima, help. Tojima immediately stands up and flings off his jacket. And he's like, I didn't want to use this power against you guys, but you give me no choice. And he takes off his shirt to expose his drawn-on Kamen Rider belt, and then he transforms into Kamen Rider, all while making the noises and everything. And everyone is like, transform? What the fuck? And he's like, I'm Kamen Rider. And everyone just starts laughing, but then he beats the shit out of everybody.
It's like when we all first saw Titanic and we were like, wow, this is an amazing medium. This is artwork. This is beautiful. Thank you, Leonardo DiCaprio, for giving me this. Not James Cameron. He is Leonardo DiCaprio as a high schooler Kamen Rider. This is what I came here for. This is why we started the show. To watch this dude disrobe, have a painted on Kamen Rider belt, and yell at high school students before he beats the shit out of them.
You know when DBZ was popular back when we were in school? It's like 100%. The same thing. Like kids are just yelling at the top of their lungs, like at recess, trying to go Super Saiyan and shit. Like this is exactly what it is.
10,000%. 10,000%. I remember me and my buddy, not friends with him anymore. I remember he had a trampoline in his backyard, and his house was closer to school than mine was. We would walk home from school, watch DBZ, and then go jump on the trampoline in his backyard and just like fucking scream Kamehameha all the fucking time. It was the best. And then we go skateboard, and it was rad. Living the life of a American adolescent.
Well, you don't become Goku by pretending to be Goku.
Right, I fucked up. I didn't paint the gi on me. I just pretended that it existed. I fucked up. I should have did a bunch of sit-ups.
But Emily approaches and she's like, who are you? And he says, I am Kamen Rider. And he wipes the blood all over his face. And she's like, oh, you're fucking scary, and runs away. And Tojima says he knew he shouldn't have transformed because his real enemy is Shocker.
It's so stupid. It's so great. It is the best show.
Cuts back to present Tojima punching the tree, and he says Kamen Rider and Shocker are from a TV show, and he knows they don't exist. And no matter how hard he trains, he can't be Kamen Rider. And then he's like, damn it, Shocker, come kidnap me and turn me into a cyborg. A bear rolls up, and Tojima is like, oh, it's a bear. I thought it was a Shocker monster. And then the bear lunges, but he dodges, and then he throws the bear. The bear has an internal monologue and is like, what the hell? Who is this dude? He's human, right? And then charges again, but Tojima elbows it in the eye by jumping off of its paw, and he's like, at some point, I got strong enough to fight a bear, but that doesn't mean I'm Kamen Rider. And then the bear runs off, and he says today is the year that he turns 40.
Greg, word for word, perfect narration of exactly what happens in this bear fight. Like, you summed it up perfectly. It's absurd. It's great. And it's drawn in a style, very bold lines, old anime style as well.
Yes.
And so you get the nostalgic feelings And then you get this new storyline told from the perspective of a humorous take on My Hero Academia. It's so insane. And One Punch Man and all that stuff. It's rooted in real world actions. And it's just like, it's great. It's great. It's the guy in middle school, I should say, that drew Goku on his notebook for every notebook he had, incarnated as a 40-year-old that never stopped working out. It's my favorite thing so far. And I love Gachiakuta, by the way.
But it cuts to Tojima taking his Kamen Rider collection to a toy shop to sell it. And the shopkeeper is like, why are you selling it? And Tojima thinks that the idea of dying in solitude in a room full of Kamen Rider merchandise, all for it to be thrown away by complete strangers, was too much for him to bear, as he eats some takoyaki and drinks a beer.
Mm-hmm.
He scrolls on his phone and sees a news report of shocker soldiers robbing a convenience store. And he's like, oh shit, this is close to my house. And the news reporter says 3 people in black ski masks doing the shocker pose from the iconic 70s Kamen Rider show. But Tojima is like, man, they just holding up a convenience store. That's not very shocker. It cuts to Tojima walking, and the town is setting up for the festival. Cuts to Tojima working construction and overhears some dudes talking about the shocker robberies. And Tojima thinks that they aren't really shocker.
And they did another one. They said that there was another robbery.
Yep. So it cuts to the news saying there are shocker copycat burglaries happening all over. And one of the captured suspects said that when he put on the mask and yelled, "Eek," it felt like he got stronger and he could actually do something once in his life. And Tojima is like, that guy's a fucking idiot. And then I have a note here that says, this is where the irony kicks in, because Tojima does the same thing.
Yes, 100%. But also, I'm really sad that your Yi didn't come through as well on stream, but it's okay.
It's probably because I'm not a shocker, so I can't do it so
well. That's probably what it was. You didn't hold up the hand in almost the worst fucking salute possible. So don't do it, but also, yeah, this is great.
But the festival starts, and it's lively, and Tojima is walking around and sees Kamen Rider masks for sale and smiles nostalgically, but continues to walk. Flashes back to young Tojima at a festival, and his dad gave him 4,000 yen and told him to go buy whatever he likes. And then his dad turns and abandons him. Back to the present, Tojima goes and gets some takoyaki, but it cuts to 4 gangsters getting ready to do a shocker shakedown. And the 3 dudes are like, man, I don't mind the mask, but the whole shocker routine is kind of embarrassing. And then the main gangster dude says he always liked Shocker more than Kamen Rider, and that's why he became a gangster. Then it cuts to them at the takoyaki shop doing the Shocker Yi, and they start shaking it down. Tojima is like, oh shit, a Shocker robbery, and then goes to buy the Kamen Rider mask he saw at the stall before.
Okay, so I do want to say, really importantly, this show's animation fucking slaps. It's really good.
It's super unique too. I mean, you said it. It's like that old style, like
very bold,
super bold lines. You don't see it very often now. Because if you look at, I would say, any anime in the past at least like 4 or 5 years, I don't think that there's one that looks like this. And even with Gachiakuta, I feel like they have their own unique animation, or not animation, but their own artistic style in that show.
Gachiakuta's artistic style is insane. Okay, real quick, I did want to say, you speaking on animation style, there's a lot of manga that don't get translated faithfully to animation because of how hard it is and how much someone will work on one panel to make it look beautiful, whereas you would have to take like 25, it's like a full second of this happening. The prime example being Kagurabachi. There's a manga panel with a dude with like huge fucking wings, and it makes me want to read Kagurabachi again. Like, I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, let's go back into reading manga. That doesn't happen with a lot of anime. Like, you watch like Demon Slayer snippets and you're like, oh yeah, I should watch that. That was fucking gorgeous. Stuff like that. And like this, Kamen Rider has that uniqueness about it, and it's really cool. I was like, oh shit, it's fucking silly, but the punches look sick as shit, and I'm all about it, dude. Like, even Gotcha Kuta. Later we see a character get fucking uppercutted, and it's like, yo, that was like some, not Don Don Pachi. What was that fucking, the anime about boxing?
Hajime no Ippo?
Yeah, that's the one. Why does Don Don Pachi's a video game from like hella years ago, and I'm fucking Hajime no Ippo. I don't know why those two things are like synonymous in my head, because I'm a weirdo.
I feel like the animation is a cross between like standard Japanese anime and like fucking Archer.
I could see it. Archer, like, to me, it's like watching Newgrounds come to life.
Yeah, like classic Newgrounds.
Yeah. What was the other one he did before Archer? That was on Cartoon Network, where it was like the main character was the villain with the gray skin and he was naked all the time. Oh, what was that show?
Frisky Dingo?
Frisky Dingo! Yup. Nailed it. Thank you, Greg.
As the stall vendor is getting beat up, Tojima dons the Kamen Rider mask and a fire burns in his heart. And he confronts the gangsters and he says that he's Kamen Rider and starts crying and says he's not playing. And then he Rider punches the shit out of him and everyone is in shock. And he's like, holy shit, this feels amazing.
I forgot I had like the stills of the dude losing his two front teeth. I did this show justice with my screenshots, everyone. I'm really proud of myself.
I will say that no one is safe from getting punched in the face.
Yeah, I love it.
Like no one, no race, gender, age, everyone is getting punched in the face.
Everyone's catching these fucking hands. They are rated E for everyone.
And it's funny because you see his teeth fly out, but then like next episode, his teeth are fine.
Well, he got surgery.
It's just the exaggerated action scenes are like one of the things I enjoy about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But everyone is now staring at him and then he runs off.
He runs through the crowd, pushes everyone aside, with the mask barely covering like just the front part of his head.
And that like his chin just sticks out the bottom.
Yeah, his chin sticks out the bottom, and when he's screaming, like I've got it in the screenshot back here, you can just see his jaw hanging out of the bottom. Great work, everybody.
But after the credits roll, we get a scene of a girl dressed up as a Kamen Rider character, and she says she should have been the ones to stop the Shocker robberies, and a dude wearing just a mask isn't Kamen Rider. And that's right. Episode 1.
And we've talked about it. We don't have to wrap up how we feel about it. The show fucking rips.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Good.
It's super dope.